congratulations on the win. A very impressive performance. What are your initial thoughts after that victory?
I'm really excited. I really did want to go a second and third round to get some ring time in, so I was surprised when it was over. But looking at her, her eye was full of blood, and she said she couldn't see out of it. So I understand why they stopped it. But I would have liked to go another 2 or 3 rounds, or 1 or 2 rounds, I guess.
Well, you mentioned the eye. Did you know how badly you had damaged it before they called the fight?
No, but looking at her, I saw she had like a small cut here, small cut there, and her eyes were already bruised up. She looked all, but I didn't notice the redness until I looked her in the eyes afterwards.
And I think you looked probably better than you have in a very long time in there. So what do you want next for your next opponent? Do you want to reschedule that Angela Hill fight? Are you looking for someone in the top 10? Where do you see your first fight for the next after this?
I definitely want somebody in the top 10. I asked for the top 10 for my last 2 fights and unfortunately didn't get that. So I think that's the best thing for me.
And you also mentioned you'd be ready in case there was like a last-minute fight. Is that going to be difficult to stay ready over the holidays?
No, I don't walk around heavy. And if I was told tonight, I could fight in 3 or 4 weeks, I would take the fight. Obviously, the more time I have, the better. But I'm in great shape right now and no injuries. So if the right fight, the right opportunity was there, I would take it, especially if it was somebody ranked above me.
You'd be willing to go to Fight Island to get the fight?
If I had to, I'd rather fight here in Vegas. I don't want to be quarantined like 5 times. This week was pretty hard. It was a little different than last time, it kind of sucks. But I'm grateful to still be fighting and still have a job right now.
And one final one. What did you say to Sam after that inside the octagon?
I told her, welcome to the UFC. Thank you for taking the fight. I appreciate it. And I told her if she ever wants to come train with me, down to train with her. And I said, enjoy the journey. It's a long one, and it's a fun one.
I got one
Good.
right here. Tecia, I think that when you have a fighter and, the record, you look on Wikipedia, there's a couple of those L's in a row. I think the fans, they could be a little quick. They don't realize, hey, look who they were against. Look at the competition. Knowing who that was against, how did you keep your morale up? Because clearly, with this victory, people would say this is a 180 from where we thought you were just earlier this year.
Yeah, it was hard to keep my morale up after losing a few fights in a row, but after every one, I told myself that I just need to pick my big girl underwear up and get in there and do it again. But it really was a mindset that was, not helping me. I was going through a hard time mentally, and I feel like I'm in a better place mentally to move forward in these next fights that are to come. It's really always a game of me against me. It's nothing to do with the opponent. It has to do with my self-confidence, and I lacked self-confidence fighting those girls. I thought they were like the shit. Maybe they are the shit, but I thought too highly of them. I'm just as great as them, and I'm one of the greatest fighters at the 115-pound division. So I just need to believe in myself more, and I'm gonna make it.
When you get a big win like this, what's your first plan when you get home? Have you envisioned celebrating this one?
I'm going to go home and eat some yummy stuff, enjoy the holidays with my family. We have some family coming in town, enjoy the holidays with my nephews and stuff. Go see some family in Florida and Massachusetts as well. Just make my rounds.
Thanks, Tecia.
You're welcome.
One more. Did you say quarantine rules were a little different this time?
This time, yeah. Last time we were actually able to, take an Uber somewhere if we needed to go to Whole Foods and such. This time, we couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't walk to Whole Foods or I guess we took an Uber last time. We couldn't take an Uber to Whole Foods. Last time, my mom came in town, and I was able to go outside the hotel and speak to her after my fight. This time, if you go outside to the hotel, you have to stay out. Go to your own hotel. Yeah, it's really strict. I guess it's for the best with all these fights falling through and such. And this time we got a COVID test at home prior to coming to the fight. So that's how we knew Angela was COVID positive, because she had it after Thanksgiving, and that's when it came up. So, yeah.
Just quickly, you'd said that you wanted to show more out there, that you wanted to go longer. What specifically were you hoping to showcase out there?
I wanted a finish where I was either TKOing her with punches or elbows or get a submission. There's been one, and I don't want to say what it is because maybe I'll get it in my next fight, but there's been one in particular that I've been getting in every single practice, and I really wanted to get it on her. So I just really wanted to showcase more of what I've been working on the last 6 months. So what you saw in the first round, it was going to even pick up more in the second and third. I usually do better in the second and third round. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get a chance to show you guys that, but what I did show was great, and I'm glad I had a fight tonight.
And speaking of picking up, last question, your pacing, you seem to go at her a lot more ferociously, quicker. Was that part of the game plan, to go out and hopefully just try to overwhelm her quickly?
Yeah, that's something that goes along with my self-confidence. I need to believe in my cardio because I have amazing cardio and I can go rounds and rounds and rounds. Just sometimes I hold back on that. So that's why I really would have loved to go a second and third round because it was only going to pick up from there. By the end of the first round, now I knew what her strengths were, what her weaknesses were. Like, nothing hurt. Her hardest punch, she's holding me on the fence, going as hard as she can. That didn't hurt at all. Her kicks, nothing. Her speed wasn't there. So I was just ready to capitalize on everything in the second and third round and make my adjustments where I needed it. I feel like my fight intelligence is very high, especially, with somebody just getting in the UFC. So I was looking forward to, showing some really pretty stuff in the second and third round.